Today we're talking about some recent Tesla updates, including our first look at bioweapon defense mode on the refreshed Model Y, updates to the Model 3 interior, a slew of new superchargers announced by Tesla, Tesla's stock surging and Elon's net worth surging, battery supply updates and more, so let's get into it. First up today, Tesla's stock has been at all-time highs, hitting $802.47 at the time that I'm filming this video. This has brought their market cap, again at the time of filming this video, up to a whopping $760 billion. And in turn, this has enabled Elon Musk to now officially become the richest man in the world, surpassing Jeff Bezos with a net worth of over $185 billion. This has been one of the fastest rises for anyone on the list of richest people ever, because Tesla's rise has been so quick this past year. Elon started the beginning of 2020 worth plenty of money, around $27 billion, and has now increased up to $185 billion. So in just a little bit over a year, he's gone from 27 to surpassing Jeff Bezos to be the richest man in the world. It's absolutely insane. And again, the main reason for this is Tesla. He does get paid pretty well at Tesla, but also he's very invested in his own company. So when Tesla's stock does well, Elon does well, and that is what is happening today. According to Bloomberg, quote, Musk, 49, has benefited from Tesla's stratospheric rise in more than one way. In addition to his 20% stake in the automaker, he's sitting on about $42 billion of unrealized paper gains on vested stock options. Those securities come from two grants he received in 2012 and 2018, the latter of which was the largest pay deal ever struck between a CEO and a corporate board. The article follows by saying, quote, despite his astronomical gains, Musk has said he has little interest in material things and has few assets outside his stakes in Tesla and SpaceX. He told Axel Springer in an interview last month that the main purpose of his wealth is to accelerate humanity's evolution into a spacefaring civilization. So we know that's what he said in the past, but now that he actually has become the richest in the world, what does Elon think about it? Well, he responded on Twitter to a couple tweets, and here's what he said. His first response was, quote, how strange, and then he followed that up by saying, well, back to work, ... Now, he could just be playing a little part here and he's just excited, but he doesn't really want to show it and he loves being the richest person in the world, or he could legitimately just not care, because this isn't really money he can just access at any time, and what is he really going to do with $190 billion all at once? And then he pinned a couple tweets from back in 2018. The first says, quote, you should ask why I would want money. The reason is not what you think. Very little time for recreation. Don't have vacation homes or yachts or anything like that. About half my money is intended to help problems on Earth, and half to help establish a self-sustaining city on Mars to ensure continuation of life of all species in case Earth gets hit by a meteor like the dinosaurs, or World War III happens and we destroy ourselves. So not only does this widen the gap between Elon Musk and literally every other person on Earth and their money, but it also widens the gap between Tesla and every other automaker as far as market cap. And again, the reason why Elon passed Jeff Bezos today is because of Tesla. And again, any of those numbers that I just cited were the numbers at the time of filming this video, so they'll probably increase or decrease throughout today. Some projects on the horizon include their new factories in Berlin and Texas, as well as another potential property in Seattle. Elon Musk tweeted out a video showing their Giga Berlin factory covered in snow, and it's absolutely crazy to see how much progress that factory has made since breaking ground in mid-2020. Elon commented on it saying, quote, because of the large footprint, it may seem flat, but actually ranges up to 5 stories tall. Tesla's goal is to be shipping Model Ys from this factory by the end of the year, and honestly it seems pretty likely based on the progress we've seen so far. However, there have been a few setbacks along the way, so we'll have to see. Tesla's water was shut down at Giga Berlin for a period of time for not paying the bill. Tesla missed a €100 million deposit that caused Giga Berlin to pause construction, and there have been random pauses due to various wildlife issues in the area where the factory is being built. Most of those setbacks don't seem to have impacted progress long term, as we can see from Elon's video, but with such an aggressive timeline and Model Y production scheduled for 2021, from this brand new Berlin factory, any setback could have repercussions. Similar progress can actually be seen over at Giga Texas, which began construction in July of 2020. Tesla plans to have what they call their first completion of Giga Texas in May of 2021, and plans to begin making Model Ys there shortly after, and eventually Model 3s, Cybertrucks, and their own battery cells. A new drone video was posted flying over and showing the progress at Giga Texas, but Tesla also added a few new job postings, including Process Engineering Manager, Associate Production Manager, production supervisor, senior BIM/VDC engineer, and another BIM/VDC engineer. This adds to a long list of job openings posted on their careers website, further emphasizing how serious they are getting at Giga Texas. The structure of the factory isn't even complete yet, but they are hiring for quite a few jobs that won't actually begin until the structure is in place, again further emphasizing how serious they are about getting production underway this year. I've talked about this before, but Tesla is always improving on their factories, with quality control reports from Giga Shanghai showing overall better made cars than those coming from Tesla's main Fremont factory. This is because they're constantly improving their manufacturing and building their custom factories to make their cars. At Giga Texas, they will have learned from Fremont and Shanghai and will be able to implement those improvements to hopefully make it so that the cars coming out of there are the best quality control yet. It'll be very interesting to see how it works and if there's a clear quality difference by the end of this year between Texas-made and California-made Model Ys, and whether or not customers will try to get one built from either factory specifically. Just this week as well, we heard about a new property that Tesla is looking to lock down in Lakewood, Washington, which is about an hour south of Seattle. There are two buildings being leased, one by Amazon and the other is unconfirmed, but very likely to be a Tesla facility. A quote from the report in Puget Sound Business Journal says, quote, "Real estate industry sources said Tesla Inc. is negotiating a lease for the other building, which is about 206,000 square feet. The center is at 14802 Spring Street Southwest. This will be much smaller than any other factories, but still very large, as we heard, coming in at 206,000 square feet. There's no word yet on what Tesla plans to do with this building, but currently they have headquarters in Palo Alto, which many consider to be the tech capital of the world. But Seattle is also well known for their tech companies as well. Both Amazon and Microsoft have a very large presence in the Seattle area, and the speculation is that Tesla could plan to use this for storage, parts, or possibly corporate offices. In my last video, we talked about the new Model Y interior design coming from China. It includes a few key upgrades over the US-made Model Y, including an upgraded HEPA filter that enables bioweapon defense mode, a heated steering wheel, and a new design to the door panels that extends the wood trim from the front dash. This was an interesting design choice since many people wish Tesla just did away with this wood dash entirely, but they actually extended it here. I was wondering when this would make its way to the Model 3 since they share the same doors, and now it has. Officially on the Made in China Model 3 website, we can see the updated interior trim for both the white and black interior. I'm not sure how I feel about the black interior extending the wood trim, but I do think when you see the white interior from an overhead view like this, it has a cool look to it when you see the side doors. Additionally, they officially added a heated steering wheel to the Model 3, which is the first time it has had one and is a very welcomed change. A heated steering wheel is a common feature in cars of this price range, so it's about time Tesla adds one to the Model 3 and Y. The Model S and X have already had one. Now, all of these updates will likely be coming any day now to the US-made Model 3 and Model Y, and it's really just a question of when Tesla announces it and how. Usually the website just suddenly updates, or a customer takes delivery, notices a new feature and posts it on Reddit, so we'll be on the lookout for that. The only changes we would see to the Model 3 would be the addition of the heated steering wheel and those side doors that extend the wood paneling from the dash. Some have speculated that since the Model 3's steering wheel changed slightly recently, Tesla has actually been shipping the Model 3 with a heated steering wheel, but has yet to enable it in software and may offer a software upgrade for it. This could be possible, but I don't really see any reason why they would hold back this feature in the US, but deliver it immediately in China. Also, those side door panels could be one of the first designs coming from Tesla's design studio in China. At the beginning of 2020, Elon said, quote, "I think something that would be super cool would be to, and so we're going to do it, we're going to try to do it, would be to create a China design and engineering center to actually design an original car in China for worldwide consumption. I think this will be very exciting." Tesla followed that up by posting on their WeChat account, and this is where we got that potential conceptual render of a $25,000 Tesla. Could the door paneling be the first design change implemented by the Chinese Design Center? And will it be exclusive to the Model Y and 3 in China? I suppose it is possible, but with part simplification and the fact that Tesla first brought the matte black trim to the Model 3 in China and then the US, I really feel like they wouldn't change the doors at one factory but not the other. Speaking of those Model 3 updates, the Model Y would get those same updates in the US, but it appears that the HEPA filter is exclusive to the Model Y since it has the extra room, unlike the Model 3. We got our first look at the HEPA filter in the Model Y thanks to a Reddit user this week showing how large the filter is. If we take a look at the size of the filters in the Model Y currently, we can see just how much bigger these are, coming in at a size close to that of the Model X HEPA filter and enabling Tesla's bioweapon defense mode for the first time on one of their more affordable vehicles. Tesla details their bioweapon defense mode on their website with some helpful graphs showcasing the drastic abilities it has to clean the air. Now, we don't know if the Model Y version is as good as the Model S and X, but according to Tesla with the Model X, in their tests, quote, not only did the vehicle system completely scrub the cabin air, but in the ensuing minutes it began to vacuum the air outside the car as well, reducing PM 2.5 levels by 40%. In other words, bioweapon defense mode is not a marketing statement, it is real. You can literally survive a military-grade bioweapon attack by sitting in your car. Hopefully this is never a feature you actually need for that purpose, but for pollution and smoke, especially in areas with frequent forest fires, it's a great feature to have and should be coming to the US-made Model Y soon. The only reason it would be exclusive to China is because China is well known for high levels of pollution, and the US, while by no means perfect, isn't quite on the same level. However, again, for simplification, I really think there is no reason Tesla wouldn't bring the HEPA filter, which is a popular selling point, to the Model Y in the US. I've made a couple videos talking about the new Model S and the potential for a refresh coming soon, but the Plaid Model S is scheduled to be produced at the end of this year. Elon Musk gave the tiniest bit of a hint on Twitter, responding to a tweet saying, quote, Elon Musk, how hard did you sandbag the Plaid Model S timeline? I hope you don't put in a horizontal touchscreen and don't do a Steez exterior refresh. To which Elon responded with a good old wink emoji. This could mean literally anything, so make of it what you will, but the Plaid Model S should be the fastest production vehicle ever made, at least until the Roadster comes to be, and maybe Tesla is planning on producing it faster than we thought. Model S and X production resumes on Monday, January 11th, so maybe there's a surprise in store there. Now, Tesla's Supercharger network is already one of the largest charging networks and definitely the best way to charge an electric car, and it's a huge advantage for Tesla. However, as great as it is, Tesla continues to sell cars, delivering 500,000 in 2020. That's 500,000 more people that will need to charge up at a supercharger on a road trip, and there are already lines on busy holidays. For example, when I drove to the recent SpaceX launch in California, there was a huge line to charge up, and this was because there were all a bunch of Tesla nerds all driving to watch a rocket launch at the same time and needing to charge at the same time. And charging typically takes 15 to 30 minutes or so. Well, Tesla just updated their Supercharger map to show a massive expansion coming this year. Recently, we had heard that Tesla would be working with Target to bring superchargers to many locations, and now we're seeing those as well as many others with an ETA on the website. If I scroll around Southern California, we can see a bunch of new superchargers coming to many different Target locations, which are pretty perfect because Target always has a nice clean bathroom right near the front entrance. But going to other areas like up the coast, Canada, Mexico, and even China, any of those light gray icons represent superchargers coming online in 2021 or 2022. This is great to see because as Tesla continues to expand and sell more cars, those charging stations will get more and more crowded, and it looks like they are well aware of this and not stopping the expansion of this network anytime soon. Actually, looking at these maps, it seems like no matter where it is, it's a Target. China, Mexico, Canada, the US, there's a Target somewhere and it probably has a supercharger on its way. Now back to the made in China Model Y we were talking about earlier. From the beginning of this car, Elon Musk was pretty clear that he believes it will be their best-selling, most popular car, outselling the Model 3, S, and X combined. We got some circumstantial evidence based on accessories sales that the Model Y was most likely Tesla's best-selling car in the second half of 2020, but this was in the United States and based on estimations of accessory sales. Over in China, the Model Y has been expected to do very well, with some analysts estimating that once Tesla makes a cheaper version of it, they could sell up to 30,000 per month, meaning 360,000 yearly Model Ys in China alone. This is just a prediction with the caveat that Tesla is currently selling the more expensive long-range version of the Model Y, but sales have already been moving like crazy in China. The Model Y just began production at Tesla's Shanghai factory with deliveries scheduled for this month, January. Well, they have already sold out of their inventory for the first quarter of 2021. If you buy a long-range Model Y in China, delivery dates now show the second quarter of 2021, with delivery dates for the performance version showing third quarter. First, this shows that the Model Y is popular in China, as Tesla had predicted, but it's important to keep in mind that we don't know what kind of inventory Tesla is actually dealing with since this new production line was just put online. Tesla's current production capacity at Shanghai for the Model 3 alone is at 250,000 100,000 units per year, but they did have to ramp up to that number from when the factory was first open. Likely they're doing the same with the Model Y, so they are probably sold out of the vehicles that they can make in their first slower quarter, but we'll see what happens when Tesla actually releases these results. Overall though, we can see that 2021 has a lot of potential to greatly improve on Tesla's 2020 achievement of 500,000 cars delivered. They will have the Model 3 and Y shipping from Fremont, Model 3 and Y shipping from Shanghai. Later in the year, we should see the Model Y from Texas and Berlin, and according to the official timeline, the Cybertruck should begin production late this year, but I'm pretty skeptical of that. I do hope they prove me wrong though. On top of that, the Model S and X will begin restarting production on Monday the 11th, and all signs are pointing to a refresh. However, it may not be the full refresh we were hoping for, and I detail that in a video linked in the description below or up here. In Q4, Elon emailed employees about a demand problem where they had too much demand for their production capacity. He said, quote, "We are fortunate to have a high-class problem of demand being quite a bit higher than production this quarter." They ended up delivering a record 180,570 cars in Q4, so 2021 will tell just how much they can catch up on demand, and if with all those new factories demand keeps up with their increased production capacity. One big factor in all of this is battery production and Tesla's shift to making their own cells. At Battery Day, Elon talked about their own battery production lines, but also mentioned the fact that they will continue to use suppliers. Many thought the suppliers would continue with the same battery tech and Tesla would make their new advanced 4680 cells. However, a report last week showed that Panasonic would be producing Tesla's 4680 cells as well. The report said, quote, "Panasonic will set up a prototype production line at existing facilities. The cost of the project is expected to run into the tens of millions of dollars." That report said that this could lead to a new supply agreement with Tesla, and this week we heard officially that it did. On January 4th, Tesla announced a new battery cell deal with Panasonic through an SEC filing. The filing says, quote, "On December 29th, 2020, Tesla and Panasonic entered into a 2021 pricing agreement effective as of October 1st, 2020 until March 31st, 2022, relating to the supply by Panasonic of lithium-ion battery cells manufactured by Panasonic in Japan." The filing finished by saying that it sets forth, among other things, specific terms with respect to pricing, production capacity commitments, purchase volume commitments, and planned investments over the term of the agreement. Very few details here, and we can only speculate as to how much or how many battery cells Panasonic will be providing for Tesla. The other thing that will be interesting to see is how many of these cells are Tesla's current 2170 cells that Panasonic plans to improve as well, and how many will be their new 4680 cells. The Panasonic president in charge of Tesla's battery supply said, quote, "We have begun development of a new automotive battery, the 4680, for Tesla in the United States. The electrode structure is difficult because of its large capacity. We will make prototypes in Japan and establish a manufacturing method. High reliability is one of our strengths. There is no concern that Tesla will become a competitor." Most likely, the main reason for lack of concern here is that Tesla will need a huge supply of these cells going into the future, and especially when they transition all of their cars to these 4680 cells. It'll seemingly be a very long time before Tesla can build up their own manufacturing facilities to truly make enough to meet their own demand. So coming up, we should see the Model 3 and Y get refreshed in the US, matching all those features that we're seeing in the China-made versions of those cars. The Model S and X will resume production and presumably will get a refresh as well. We'll see to what extent, and then we'll get confirmation or not that Tesla is indeed leasing this new office space or production space in Seattle. That's all the news for this video, so in the meantime, make sure to subscribe to this channel, make sure to like this video if you appreciated it. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at RyanShawTech. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.